So I just wandered up to my lean-to after this rain that we've had pretty much all day, but it's come to a stop. And I am very proud. It's still holding up, and the sucker is dry on the inside where I'd be sleeping right here. Bone dry, which makes me very proud. And I got my firewood from the bow drill ordeal still, so we'll be using some of that, but you'll have to pardon the unpleasantry, but I was just wandering up here and I saw this dung. I never seen dung like this. It almost looks like a tail. It's got fur and everything. I never seen that kind of scat before, so I'm gonna look it up and make my best educated guess from that Canterbury book. I'm thinking coyote, and I've actually never identified coyote dung before, surprisingly. Fur, rabbit, squirrel, maybe a mouse or something, and that's a predator, coyote. That's my bet. Could be bobcat. Not to nerd out on you too much, but this tree is amazing how it grew. It's like a horizontal tree while it keeps going vertical. What a piece of art. I wanted to be a forester at one point, but not enough time outdoors. Looking into our old book here, I think we have a verdict. I just looked at it, and I think it is the coyote scat. Furry, long. So, nasty. I almost want to wash my hands just touching that page. Starting to get a little bit chilly. I'm very happy with this lean-to. Originally, I had planned that we're gonna set up a tent and do some camping, and we're gonna do a little bit of whittling and practice my notches, but with this lean-to here and it's still dry and all that wood, I'm just gonna use it to camp. Other than that, I don't have too much planned. Get a little fire going, eat the salad that I brought. Made this lean-to, it was the day after Thanksgiving. And now it's a week before Christmas, and it's still holding strong. Here is the salad that I brought along I'll be eating. One of those clean 3 times. Easy to make salads. I just got cheese, roast beef, and some blue cheese. It's gonna be a winner. All right, the salad was really good. I got our fire layout right here. It's called the stack over. It kind of keeps you burning, or hopefully not you burning, but the fire burns throughout the whole night. That's the idea. You can put the little stuff at the top, big stuff at the bottom. I got a bucket of water right over there, and I'll just put out the fire. So we're gonna start this bad boy right now. The fire is a son of a gun. You know, it's cold and it's very wet because it rained today. So it's a struggle, but we're gonna get it, I think. If not, we'll just cold camp and suffer through it, baby. I got a trick though I wanna show you. If I do get the fire going, I got these 3 rocks right here. I'm gonna clear out everything first, but a little hole right here with my dig stick. And in the fire, the hole, cover it up, put my mat on it, and see if it heats up my upper back at night. I've never done that before, so we'll see. I was making the fire. Look, I'm having a hard time with it's kind of cold and wet, but I heard some ruffling, and I'll show you what it is. There's 2 of them. Good place to hide. He was not as big as the other one. The other one was a basketball of an armadillo. It's going now. I showed you already what I'm gonna do with these rocks. Probably get this fire a bit hotter, chill out next to it, and practice my whittling. I'm gonna drop a video in the description to show you what I'm trying to do, but just basically practice my notches and do a little story. It's starting to get cold. The stars look amazing tonight. It feels good to be practicing my notches here by this fire I worked so hard for. Put out the fire in about half an hour. I want to enjoy it a little bit longer because it's still not burnt all the way through my base here, the last logs. working on my notches, which I need a lot of help with, but I'm getting a little bit better. I'm doing what's called a tri-stick, which is basically where you get a stick and you practice all your notches on that one stick. Square notch, saddle notch, 7-notch, beak notch, and I was inspired to do this by a guy who's really talented, and I'm gonna put a link to his video below in the description. This is very helpful. I'm working on a saddle notch right now. And before we went to bed, I wanted to tell you the story of the scariest nap of my life. I think the setting is ideal. It's a nonfiction story. We're by a primitive shelter and a campfire. I used to work out west in the desert. And to save money, I lived in a tent. All I had was a cot and a bunch of books. Every day after work, I'd walk into my tent, lay down my cot, read a book for 10 to 15 minutes and fall asleep. One day, after a very long day of work, I walked up to my tent, unzipped it, lay down my cot, and was looking forward to The Walking Drum by Louis L'Amour. I was gonna read that for 10 minutes and nod off. When suddenly I heard a sound that made my heart leap out of my chest. It was this. It was a rattlesnake, and I heard it from directly underneath me. After about 10 to 15 seconds of me just panicking in my cot, I decided to just make a bolt for it. Luckily, I had left the door of my tent unzipped, so I bolted out, did not get struck in the calf or anything, went outside and I found a T-post, went back inside the tent, flipped over my cot, and sure enough, there was a 3.5-foot rattlesnake right there. I took care of it because I didn't want it or its nieces and nephews to come visit me again. But that's the story of the scariest nap of my life. Good morning to you. Bit of a rough night last night. A lot of coyotes nearby were howling, and it got kind of cold with the fire, so woke up like 3 or 4 times, probably about 4.5 hours of sleep. However, I'm excited, happy to do this video. I think it's gonna turn out great. I wanna get ready because I got another big video I'm gonna make today. Even with the minimal sleep I got, I wanna get me like 6 coffees, and I'm planning on climbing 100 trees in one day, so check it out.